Hey everybody, I wanted to do a video here of what I've scored the last week or so. Pretty random stuff as usual. The first one I wanted to show is actually something I'm really happy about because it's one of my favorite releases from the 90s. And I don't know whether it was actually released on vinyl originally, but going to the artist's website, I saw that they had it on the Scud Mountain Boys. This was Joe Pernice's first band before he did the Pernice Brothers, and this came out I think in 1996 on Sub Pop. And I don't know whether Sub Pop actually did this on vinyl at the time, but this is actually now available through Ashmont Records, which is Joe Pernice's label that he puts all his Pernice Brothers stuff out on. If you're not familiar with the Pernice Brothers or Scud Mountain Boys, basically the Scud Mountain Boys are, I guess they could probably sort of fit into the, a little bit in, not that they were sort of a scene per se, but they were kind of a cross between the alternative country stuff that was going on at the time and a little bit like some of these sort of so-called slowcore stuff. Really super mellow, kind of folk country feel to it. I'd almost liken it to the Cowboy Junkies, except for Joe Pernice has just a real knack for pop melodies. So his melodies are a little bit more sort of hook filled, if you want to say that. So anyway, I'm really happy about picking this up. I saw this on CD. I wore the CD out. I mean, it's super mellow, but I'm really into that sort of stuff. So getting it on vinyl is really happy about. Next we have Tom Waits' reissue of Swordfish Trombone. My favorite era of Tom Waits is that this, where he initially started his experimentation, which is '83 when this came out, and through '80, it's not necessarily Concrete, but through '87's issue of Frank's Wild Years. So that trio of albums, Swordfish Trombones, Rain Dogs, and Frank's Wild Years are my, I guess, probably my three favorite Tom Waits albums. So I saw this at my local store and decided to splurge on the reissue and picked it up last weekend. Okay, I'm going to kind of run through these ones a little bit quicker. And this is, again, pretty random stuff. So, got Frank Zappa. I'm picking up Frank Zappa's stuff pretty quickly. Why am I blanking on the release? Oh yeah, Overnight Sensation. I got this one from eBay, and I've got a couple other ones. So I have to do a Frank Zappa video at some point. Who Are You? Elvis's second release. This is actually, I think I have one or two Elvis records, but they're in cruddy condition, so I get the right angle here. This is the first time. The other ones I got in bulk, sort of lot purchases, so this is really the first Elvis record that I went out and purchased on my own individually. The Rave Ups, which were an '80s and early '90s kind of alternative folk and alternative, maybe it's not really alternative country, even though there's country tinges to it, but think a little bit like the Bodines. I don't even remember how I heard of them, but I think a buddy of mine had one of their CDs, and I took to it really fast, so I got a couple of their records. Earth, Wind and Fire. Caldera, which is a pretty obscure fusion band from the '70s. I came across this on a music blog at some point. That's my only explanation as to where I'd heard of these guys. And I guess you would say that if you're into that sort of Chick Corea, Return to Forever era of his career, you'd like this stuff. Got a couple of Bruce Cockburn records. I've had his stuff on CD for many years, and I've always enjoyed his voice and his vocal style and just his songs in general. So I'm starting to get some of his stuff on vinyl. This stuff from the '80s, some of the stuff that I'm familiar with. I'm not as crazy about. It's definitely of the era of the '80s, and it's got a little bit more of an '80s pop tinge to it, but they're still really above average in comparison to the time. There's another Bruce Cockburn, World of Wonders. Got Stones, Get Your Yayas Out. I don't know if I've ever even listened to this record before on CD or anything, and I know that's always been well received. So funny, this is my second live Stones record that I've purchased in the last few weeks. The last one was a Goodwill purchase, Rod Stewart. Every picture tells a story. This is classic Stewart era where he was rocking out. As most of you know who occasionally go to Goodwills, the pet peeve that most of us have is that they put the stickers right on them. Most of the times they actually come off, but this is one of the times they didn't. And I got backwards here. Little scrape there from that. Otherwise, it's just really annoying because it's a perfect condition record, and they blew it. Actually, I have a couple more while I'm here. The records, Power Pop Band, which it's another thing I'd like to do a sort of genre video for at some point. This is an excellent band if you're into Power Pop. And lastly, this is one I took a flyer on because I'm getting back into my 80s metal stuff. It's a band that I only know because I had seen their name mentioned in the new wave of British metal, but I think these guys are a little bit more, not quite as heavy maybe, but Tigers of Pantang. I took a complete flyer. I don't even know what they really sound like, but figured I'd give it a shot. So before my voice goes out, I think I'm going to end it here, and I'll do a video probably in the next couple of days. See you next time.